Com with you Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, delivering live free picks for today's action. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, and set notifications so you're live with us to get the best numbers when you place your bets here as we give you great picks here on our show, Game Day Picks, Monday through Friday. A couple of things I'd like to know about. Our promo code, you can save 20% off all premium pick packages. When you use the promo code TonyT at checkout, you can access our page by clicking the link in the description and then clicking the All Cappers tab and get signed up. Also, love to hear from you guys. So post your picks in the comments below. And don't forget to visit our site, TonySpace.com. Our multi-capper site showcasing our top cappers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers and get signed up to a long-term pass. You'll see some of our hot cappers right now, like Mindy's. The last 7 days has been on absolute fire. Nick's been hot. Our GM has been doing well. Ben has been hot in football. Ramon finishing with a winning day. Morning's team crew as well. So get on board here, guys. We'll just hit some of the sports. We've got NFL on the board tonight. Let's see who's doing what in the NFL. Ben continuing to be firing here in the NFL here, top leaderboard. Tiffany's making up ground. Ramon had to have a good weekend. Morning's team crew as well, putting up some big, huge numbers here in the NFL. The steam has been hot, guys. So get on board here with our long-term passes. You can see the last 7 days, steam has been on fire here. Look at the 6-1 last 7 days, Bennett as well. So really good numbers. Yours truly put together back-to-back good weeks in the NFL. I think now that there's data now, I don't want to say it makes it more easier. It just a little more confidence levels go high now as we have data to support our picks a lot more than having to kind of rely on the eye test, which could sometimes not give you the full picture. It's hard to keep track of 11 games going on at the same time in the NFL. So it does help to have the data to support your cause. So check it out, guys. Remember, I'll show you a little bit about our site here as we're letting people sign into the show right now. You'll be able to find our latest premium picks right here in the center. Best bet, each capper can designate one of their picks per sport per day as a best bet. We put this feature in there because, again, we get the live chats, we get the calls. People say, what's the best bet? I love this capper. I want the best bet. I fire big. I want the best bet. All right, so this is what we've done. Each capper can designate one sport per day as a best bet. You'll see more than one. Days like today when there's just really one sport in action, you're just going to see one best bet. Sometimes there's multiple best bets up here, guys, so check them out. Looks like we've got football up here. Ramon's got a Monday Night Football best bet up there. Collins with one as well. The GM has one. Morning's team here with an NBA preseason guaranteed best bet. So they're in action here in preseason, as well as Tiffany in there. $15 pick. Each capper can designate one pick per day. One pick per day from the card as a $15 premium pick, just to showcase their service out there to new customers or existing customers as well. As you'll see here, many of them have best bets. Mindy has a Monday Night Football best bet up there. I've got one up there. Tiffany has a $15 premium pick as well. Hollywood Sam, Ben, Morning Steam Crew, Collins, a lot of the crew up there with a best bet, guys, or $15 premium pick. But you notice a lot of them will designate their best bet as a $15 premium pick just to showcase their service out here there. So that's how it works there on Tony'sPicks.com. Not too many 3-packs I would expect today. No 3-packs. You'll start to see them more as we get into the NBA season. No everyday baseball, of course, when you got 15 games on the board. Tomorrow, hockey starts with 2 games, but then we'll have these big cards and we'll start to fill up this 3-packs. And, of course, one of our most popular sellers, again, for those guys that fire big, they like the 3-packs. That's about what they like here, the 3-packs. $15 and best bet. Here, of course, the long-term is passed. We're going to try and fit in some of the long-term passes here on this empty space here as well. So go ahead, and guys, and get signed up if you would. All right, I think we've got people signed into this show, so let's go ahead. Let's get this one underway. With us today, we've got Mindy and Ramon Scott. All right, let's get this one underway, guys. We'll go ahead and welcome in Mindy. You'll find her over at TonySpace.com, where she's been on absolute fire here over the past 7 days, doing great work in all sports. Let's see if we bring in Mindy right now. Here she is right here. Mindy, what's happening?
Not much. Just excited for some Monday Night Football.
That's right, Monday Night Football here, and of course we got hockey starting tomorrow, and a week later we got the NBA. So it looks like we're gonna, and of course the baseball playoffs again, the division series tomorrow with some day baseball tomorrow. So a lot to catch up on here as we're getting really heading to another big week of action, and we got college football here on a Wednesday. The Sun Belt's in action with that baseball bye week. They figured, hey, let's sneak in a Sun Belt game, so that was a good scheduling there. But today we're going to look at the Monday Night Football here. We got the Chiefs here, the Raiders here. The Chiefs laying 7, total 52, but you'll be looking at this one a different way.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy when Ramon and we got done with the show. We were gonna go over what we're gonna cover tomorrow, and geez, it just kept on filling up and filling up with sports. So it is definitely going to be a busy week, but a lot of fun all at the same time here. But yeah, I hit some props with Matt Ryan last week, so thought I would go ahead and try it here again today, since we kind of pretty much only have this Monday night game and a little bit maybe preseason basketball. So what I'm going to look at is prop here on Davante Adams today. So what we're going to take a look at is Devonte Adams over 75.5 yards. You're going to get minus 115 on that. And then alongside of that, since, we think Devonte can get over 75, I also think he can get over 100 here. And you can get some plus odds on that, like plus 195. So the way I'm going to look at it this way is, Devonte Adams has already had two 100-yard games so far. And it kind of depends on how you think this game's going to go. For me, I think it's going to be a little bit one-sided here with the Chiefs, just based off of, records here in the past. Carr only being 3-13 versus the Chiefs. Chiefs have outscored the Raiders 89-23 over the last year. Right now, Carr is targeting, Davante usually with 20 or more targets. So basically, he's averaged 12 targets per game in his last 4. And that's double any other wide receiver on this Raiders team. Derek Carr, he's also top 10 in pass attempts out of all the quarterbacks here, and I think he's going to be forced to throw some more. And then if you look at Devonte Adams, he has a 35% target share here of all of the, passing attempts. And the only other two that are anywhere close to Devonte Adams is Drake London and Cooper Kupp. And then also if we take a look at the KC side of things here, the dogs, KC, they're giving up 300 yards passing to the Chargers and to Tampa Bay. Mike Williams have had 113 yards. Mike Evans had 103 yards. And even Michael Pittman for the lowly Colts had 72 yards. And I think we can all agree that maybe the Raiders are a little bit better than the Colts this year offensively. So for me, because of all of those factors, I think we got a pretty good chance here of getting Devonte Adams over 75.5 yards and then over 100 as well, facing this, Chiefs defense without any, Matthew out there. So I like the odds plus about 195 is what I saw before the show here of what you could get on that. Those are my picks, Tony.
All right, Devonte Adams here over 75.5 yards receiving, minus 115. And, of course, another one here with Devonte Adams over 100 yards receiving, plus 195 here. Hit those two really good props on the Thursday night game. Yeah, the Chiefs defense, of course, they've been in games against Tampa Bay where teams have to play catch-up against them, and this is throw, which lengthens the game, means more plays, more passing attempts. I think Brady had... Was it close to 50 passing attempts?
It was close to 50, yeah.
Yeah, it was close to 50. And again, when you have that many pass attempts, you're definitely going to get the ball targeted to you. And Adams is a perfect candidate for that. If you see it being a Chiefs up ahead, or one of those back and forth games that sometimes gets crazy. These things are possibilities here. When you look at the Chiefs defense, which is giving up 264 yards, but here's the stat that kind of blew me away here. They're giving up 70% completion rate.
Yeah, so they're not, that good on defense. Like I said, they're a different squad this year, so you're actually having a little bit more success against the pass, and I think in the past. So that way, I think teams are not going to the rush as much. And again, I think it's going to be all based off of the scenario here of the Raiders having to try to come from behind and getting that, and then also there is tons of historical data here to show that, he is a guy that likes to pass, Carr. We have the data to back all of that up. And also with Adams getting 47, targets here over his last 4 games and being targeted over 20 times in 2 of those. I think it's going to be something like that as well. Davante is amazing. He's a stud receiver. So why not? And then Renfro's been a little bit, dinged up. Other than that, they have maybe Waller, but usually, a KC team is, able to defend against a tight end, just like, Kansas City is able to defend against a tight end, and vice versa. Because of that tight end, the Raiders usually hold Kelsey down a little bit as well. So that's why I kind of wanted to stay away from any sort of Kelsey, and then also any sort of, pass attempts or anything like that. Or I'm not even sure about that anytime, touchdown from Devonte either, because I think there's a lot of scenarios or a lot of ways that they can score against this Chiefs team.
Yeah, no doubt about that, especially with a run game that's producing 5 yards a carry. Although Chiefs have been stopping the run, but we'll see how that works in this game. It may help Devonte Adams if the Raiders can run, because it'll open up opportunities again in the pass for, again, getting open with the receivers thinking, hey, I got to keep an eye on Jacob. I got to keep on the running back. So there's a lot of that in play. So Mindy's pick here, we're going player prop here. A couple of picks here with the Raiders. Devonte Adams over 75.5 completion yards receiving. I said 75 yards receiving, minus 115. Devonte Adams over 100 yards receiving, plus 195. This one starts here at 8:15 Eastern Time over on ESPN. All right, Mindy, let's go over at Tony'sPicks.com. As we know, just one game on the board. Really good results here in Major League Baseball. And overall, 892 units the last 7 days. All document over at Tony'sPicks.com. If you go to Mindy's handicapper page and you're able to check out her plays, they're all documented. You say, you guys got 12 guys on your site, and you have all these thousands of people throwing out picks. Well, not all of them don't like their records documented. that's the thing. It's a little different when you say you're documented with records. Oh my goodness, you mean you track records? Yes, we do. So that's
part of the deal, right?
Right, that's part of the deal, right? It's funny. People were telling me the other day, they were saying, well, what's going on? Well, people don't like getting their records documented because they don't feel confident in themselves. Or they don't produce good results. Well, we put our records on paper. You guys can check them out. The wins and losses are right there at Tony'sPicks.com. Mindy's been doing great work here over the last 7 days, knocking it out of the fence in college football, NFL, hitting big there. So a good time to get on board there when you kind of look at Mindy over the last 30 days. Really good results in baseball. So we got baseball coming up. Of course, what do you have going over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, I mean, handicapping is a job that's not as easy as it seems, right? I mean, when you have to take a look at the long run, I mean, that's why all of us have been in this business a while, and we do feel confident that we can hit at certain marks documented. So we're, feeling confident with putting our numbers out there. I know historically, I'll start off a little bit slow, like we talked about. I gain data, we get moving. So we got about one more week for NFL to catch up with college football, and hit really nice with college football here this week. I was plus 733 units. NFL over the last week, 7-3. So it is a good time to get on my best bet of the day. I hit my best bet yesterday with the Bengals. Also up 641 units in Major League Baseball. So excited to see what we can come up for tomorrow here as well. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a good time to get with me for something a little bit longer term here. You can go over the next 7 days and get yourself plays all the way into next week. And again, I've hit a couple really nice weeks that's put me up, in the leaderboards here over the last month, and got up into some of those yearly leaderboards here as well. So pretty excited with how things are going. So catch me on a longer term pass. You're going to get the bigger bang for your buck. Again, I said I have that $15 play here for NFL. And then again, me and Ramon, we, I was able to collect some data here for the NFL preseason. So we put that into my formula then, and we came up with a play today. So you can also catch that $15 play for the NBA preseason. So we're all excited about the starting of hockey tomorrow, and then NBA here shortly. Like a week or week and a half or so.
That's right. A week from tomorrow is when the NBA starts. I see the click there. 8 days and 4 hours and 18 minutes away from the start of the NBA. The counters here on NBA TV. Been watching some preseason games.
Oh, gotcha.
They just keep playing they just keep NBA TV and NHL. They just keep showing the preseason games
there
over
in the control room with all of the clickers, the countdowns.
That's right. All the countdown clickers here. So with NBA fast approaching, get on board with Mindy over at Tony's Picks. She does have our Monday night guaranteed best bet up there. She made a $15 profit guarantee. Remember, these one-offs, these individual plays, these one-day passes must turn a profit, or the amount you purchase is credited back into your account. That's a profit guarantee. Now, long terms are not, because they're already sold at a significant discount. And of course, here we are on a Monday. You want to try out Mindy for 7 days. She does have her 7-day weekly all sports pass. You'll get all of Mindy's plays here from the Major League Baseball Divisional Series. That's a 5-game series, probably over a course of 6 or 7 days. So that's probably that will cover the entire MLDS. They're trying to get these playoffs done quickly. They're on a lot of off days here. They're condensed schedules here. So a good time to get on board with that 7-day pass. All of Mindy's plays here from the second round of the baseball playoffs, Also in play here will be the NFL. We got NFL here Monday. We have NFL on Thursday as well as Sunday. Of course, college football. We got what do we got? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week. It looks like we got a lot of college football this week. Yeah, and Saturday the big card. So they're spreading them out a little bit more now in college football. So it's a really good time to get on board with the long-term pass. That 7-day pass. We'll see with hockey. I know Mindy likes to collect her data. We may be a week or two away from the hockey, probably more or less. So that will not be part of the 7-day pass. But again, get on board with Mindy here with that 7 days. Or if you want to go longer, she does have the 1 month all sports pass. That'll cover the entire baseball playoffs. We'll get you some hockey, maybe possibly definitely some NBA, because I think that Mindy said she's NBA. There's less player movement in the NBA, and she's got data to support her picks for some of the teams, not all the teams, right?
Right. For preseason here, they've each got in about 3 games, so I can start getting some work done on that. And of course, I always think that it's a little bit better for, these teams are a little bit more consistent for the most part, especially like the NFL. NBA is pretty similar to that, so it doesn't take long to get where that parity is going to be. And again, it only takes about, 2, 3, 4 games for hockey as well. So that usually only puts me about a week away to get all of the data that I need in order to feel comfortable with giving you picks that, I would bet on myself.
Absolutely, that's right. Of course, you got a lot of, with hockey, you're going to deal with goalies, backup goalies. Sometimes they like to rotate goalies. A lot going on there with the hockey. So get on board here with Mindy. The 7-day pass or the 1 month all sports pass will save you some money here. When you use a promo code TonyT at checkout, you can access Mindy's page by clicking the link in the description, clicking the All Cappers tab, and get signed up. Of course, that promo code will be used more than once. If you just want to buy her individual plays, you just want to buy all her best bets, that'll work too as well. But just use the play and get signed up. And you can access Mindy's page by clicking the link in the description, the All Cappers tab, to get signed up. All right, Mindy, we also put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Mindy. And of course, that great morning show you guys put together, the Morning Steam, Saturdays through Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, so if you go to Tony's Picks Mindy right now, click the follow and then click the bell to get the notifications. I do have another preseason NBA play out there for free. Not the one that me and Ramon gave out on the show, but another. And then I also have, the NFL pick today also out there in the Twitterverse. So you can catch me there. And again, those are only just plays. You usually get 1 or 2 per day. And you can definitely, sign up and get all of the handicappers. So then you're looking at another, 20 to 30 to 40 plays per day. And who doesn't want all of that good information in order to do your due diligence as well. So yeah, make sure you go ahead and catch Mindy and Ramon here on the Morning Steam. We started covering college football today. There wasn't much else going on, so we're getting through the card a little bit sooner than not. And then we'll start hitting these, other baseball, hockey, preseason, NBA. So we'll start hitting those again tomorrow, along with some college football as well. We're going to make it through the 2:30 time slot. I think when we looked at it, we were looking at about 17 to 20 games that we're going to cover again. So yeah, make sure you get on the show. That way you can definitely see line movements. Ramon will give you hints on whether you should, buy now or wait a little bit and get the best lines out there. The Morning Steam, we've been pretty hot, 4-0 yesterday in the NFL. So we're looking to do even better tonight with our NBA first preseason pick. We're pretty pumped about it.
That's right, guys. Check out Mindy
Ramon already had stuff out there. It's just that, he had to wait for me to catch up.
That's funny. Yeah, that's right, guys. Check out Mindy at Tony's Picks Mindy, and of course that Morning Steam show Monday through Friday here at 9 a.m. East time here on our it is on Saturday through Thursday here 9 a.m. East time here on our YouTube channel at Tony's Picks. And of course they do have an account at Morning Steam. You can track their records with their consensus plays over on our website at Tony'sPicks.com. They do have an account up there where you can track their records up there. Picks are for sale, but those are for people that don't watch the show. So if you watch the show, you'll get the picks. And for the many that don't, many don't, because we see the sales coming in. So that's the way it rolls here, right? That's it. We're business people too.
I know. Right? I was like, Tony, I don't think people are going to buy these. He's like, well, the guy in the suit will buy them. I'm like, okay, you're right. All right, there we go.
There you go. The guy in the suit. He does. He's doing it. That's right. And he's winning.
That's
So he's
right.
happy. He's a happy guy. All right, Mindy, keep up that great work. We'll talk with you again tomorrow.
All right. Take care. Thanks.
You got it. Mindy Hahn here on a Game Day Picks. Hey, guys, make sure you're with us here Monday through Friday here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you like, subscribe, and set notifications so when we're live, you're live with us. Hey, we got Day Baseball coming up, so you better be live with us. So some of these picks, you want to get them. So make sure you set notifications. All right, let's continue on here with Game Day Picks. Let's go ahead and welcome in Ramon Scott. You'll find him over at Tony'sPicks.com. Great NFL season this year. Is more. If you go over and check out his, we've adjusted the handicapper pages to show the cappers records more when you go to the hand. And Ramon, you hit well on all the leagues that we cover here.
Well, most of the major sports definitely on leaderboards, and I like to dabble in some of those other things. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, but never going to stop firing, Tony. In fact, I'm watching tennis right now and CFL right now. It's Thanksgiving, of course, in Canada this weekend, and also the tennis tournament. The ladies are down here in San Diego, and they're playing a 500 event, and I believe got I don't know. I think 21 of the top 24 players in the world came to this event. So, good sports action doesn't always have to be the big four, but we're about ready to go. They always say, boy, I love when all the sports are going, all four of them. Well, you're about to get it.
Yeah, you're about to get it. Oh, yes, we're about to go. We got another league starting tomorrow, another week later, so looking forward to it as well. Exciting. Okay, this game is, we're going to Major League Baseball. We are Game Day Picks, but this game will be on after our before our airtime tomorrow, so we're going to get it in here. Tuesday, this one will be at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be Game 1 of the NLDS as the Braves here will host the Phillies here. The Braves minus 190, total of 7.
Yeah, it was either that or I'd have to get into some, I don't know, Australian NBL basketball or something, or, maybe some preseason hoop. But let's keep it real here, Tony, and head on over to the NL and check out one of the division series with the Phillies and the Braves tomorrow. This will be the first game up. No respect, I guess, Tony, when you're the world champs. You got to lead off at Tuesday at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific, but that's okay. The Braves will take it. They'll have Max Fried able to go twice in this series against the Phillies, should they require so, against Ranger Suarez, a couple of lefties in the opener. Suarez, maybe he hasn't filled expectations this year. Still a pretty good year for Suarez, 10-7 with a 3.65 ERA. Fared pretty well against the Braves too, with a 3.21 ERA in 5 starts. But I just see the Phillies coming off the 2-game sweep of the Cardinals. Great job to go on the road, win that series that they were underdogs in, certainly, but with their 2 studs, they're not really ever going to be underdogs. But that's not the case here, with the Braves being a $2 favorite or so, with Max Fried 14-7, the 2.48 ERA this year. The Braves, Tony, with that incredible streak at the end of the season to pass up the Mets. We saw how the Mets folded like a cheap tent against the Padres as well, and against the Braves, leading up to their collapse, if you will. And the Braves were hot. Make no mistake, they finished the season, Tony, 42-12 at home in the last 54 games, basically over the last 65-70% of the home season. So really one of the things, other than Fried, certainly their top starter here, maybe they don't match up as quite well with Nola and Wheeler overall, but it's the Braves bullpen. Look what they did last year in the postseason. They ran out the same guys almost every game, and that's what you're going to see again, I would think, with Snicker. I think, they built this bullpen, number 2 bullpen in the major leagues, I would think, by most of the analysts, and probably our crew here as well. And they're hot again with a 2 ERA over the last 10 games leading into the postseason. So with Jansen, Iglesias, right? I mean, he's gave up 2 runs all season. So I think the Braves and the bullpen, very, very strong. And the Phillies, the coming in, like I said, the 2 road games, get the time off, but now you got to come right back on the road as a big dog. Look, maybe with Nola, maybe with Wheeler, they can be more competitive in a 5-game series. You see all those numbers in your life. You see all the analytics coming out that the Braves have a 56% chance to win the series. Seems kind of low, right? But that's because a 5-game series in baseball, does reduce kind of the or increases the variance and reduces the risk, if you will, for a road team to go in, and if you can get one of those key games on the road, you can wrestle it away. But I don't see it here. Phillies bullpen near 6 over the last 10 games, and that Phillies defense, they got slow feet. Other than like uh, Segura, maybe they're slow on defense, Tony. They can't cover gaps where the Braves, they smash. We already know they're second in the majors in home runs by a wide margin. It was Yankees, Braves, and everybody else. But the gaps too, where they play. So I have the Braves winning game 1 on the run line. They can take this one. You'll see me give out a run line, but I just look at the factor of on the road, 2 playoff games, big high for Philadelphia. Now you're coming in against the Atlanta team, lying in wait, if you will, with their top man who can go 2 games, and the dynamite bullpen. So Braves won 5 of the last 7 games between the 2 teams, even though it was relatively split during the regular season. Well, I think it was. We'll say 11-7. I think it was 11-7 in favor of the Braves during the regular season. But Phillies 2-10 as a dog in their last 10, 17-36 in Atlanta over their last 53 games over the last couple seasons. They maybe weren't as good here. Phillies in the postseason going to host games for the first time in like 10 or 11 years. So you got the world champs, all the experience of the Braves right now. Phillies, yeah, maybe they can make it a series with Nola, with Wheeler, but with Suarez, who I don't think quite lived up to the expectations. I got the Braves on the run line in the opener.
All right, we got Ramon here with the Braves. The run line, lay the run and a half, plus 120 against Phillies in game 1. This will be a day game, 1 Eastern time. Yeah, when you kind of look at the numbers here, Suarez, Suarez and Fried went head to head 3 times here in the second half of the season with, team record for the Phillies, 2-1 in those games. Suarez pitching well, but not going deep. He lasted no longer than 6 innings in those starts. And we mentioned that because it's the Phillies bullpen you always got to worry about in this spot. Ramon, we track this every day. One thing I knew about the Cardinals is they were not really hitting the ball well in September. There were a lot of, when I look at the past 10 games with the Cardinals, it was always 209, 215. They got hitting a little later in the season, but for the most part of September, they were not hitting the ball.
No, but the Phillies can hit the ball, and really, even though I'm giving out the Braves here, I mean, you can't sleep on the top 5 or 6 guys in the Phillies lineup, especially when you're talking about Schwarbs and Harper. I mean, they've really got a good stack there. There's no doubt about it, and they might be able to force this one to go, a 4th or 5th game for sure because of those 2 aces as well. And you mix in getting the chance to play back at home, where they haven't had a home game in the postseason in a decade. So Atlanta in a good position, but that Phillies lineup, they are tough, no doubt about it. Those guys really can smash, especially the top 5 or 6. And I don't think there'll be as much platoon advantage in the series necessarily. The way the Phillies trying to mix it up a little bit. They kind of mix. They try to go lefty righty a little bit to avoid anything that the Braves might throw at them, I think. But again, I just look at how Snitker managed the bullpen in the postseason last year was really quite awesome. The way the Braves, you love that. If you can throw the same guy out there in the same inning every time and they come through, it's a manager's delight. And fans come to love that too, because you've got a man in the 7th and the 8th and the 9th, or even earlier in the game you talk about getting into the 6th inning. So that's going to be key, I think, there. But I don't think this Phillies team. I don't know. I thought about talking about maybe as a series price, but I know that we're coming on, that this game is before our next show, so I did choose game one, but I don't think the Phillies series price is terrible at this point. Like I said, these 3 out of 5, you talked about, Tony, you were almost kidding around a little bit with the 2 out of 3. We all remember the 2 out of 3 NBA series, but these division series harken back to the 70s when the league championship series were 3 out of 5, and we thought that was kind of a small sample back then, and of course they expanded that to 7 games. So that's what gives the underdog a little bit more of a chance in this 3 out of 5.
Yeah, that's right. No doubt about that. Underdog's a chance, no doubt. And yeah, of course, people always mention the rest versus rust, and I remember how back when they were even thinking of adding another round and giving out buys to teams, there was always, well, we're going to be rusty. Our timing's going to be impacted. But it seems we don't hear that talk anymore because one, the players like the rest, and two, no one ever talks about these simulated games they can have where they bring up minor league pitchers to pitch to these live batters in game type situations with these games they play during the break.
Yeah, it's so interesting nowadays, Tony, with the way sports is expanding. Everything was so, I don't mean to always drag us back down the rabbit hole of the game, but everything was the same for decades, it almost seemed like, right? Now everything changes so fast, and we still won't get a full grasp on how this type of playoff form, who knows, they might change it in 2 years, but we're dealing with that rush that we're going through right now because of the lockout. So I think the time off is best at this time for those teams that did get the rest, the 4 teams that are lying in wait. And you look, the Braves can come with Fried and use him twice, while the Phillies are going to have to either use Ranger Suarez twice if they are to extend the series, or go with the guy like Wheeler on short rest. So it is going to be a factor, especially you've talked about it in the several shows the last 2 weeks in the run-up, how fast these games are going to come, because the 2 leagues, one's going 5 days straight, the other one's going 6 days straight, and that is going to become a big factor. And that's why the Braves are so strong in this, because the bullpens will become such a big factor, I would think, in these playoffs.
Yeah, that's why we see it already in game 1. Clevenger in there for the Padres, and you would probably like to see Darvish and your boy Snell, but you got to get the 4th guy in there because they got to get these games in. All right, Braves run line -1.5 runs, +120 against the Phillies. This is a Tuesday start. Starting before we go on the air tomorrow, we're going to sneak this one in. This one will start at 1 Eastern time. It's on Big Fox. So you Braves fans, you are on Big Fox. They put the Dodger game on Fox 1, by the way. So they got the big time exposure. So all you people that like to watch.
I tried to talk bad about it.
Yeah, so all those people that like to watch sort of the soap opera, people aren't going to like it too much. But anyway, 1 Eastern time here on Big Fox. Actually, there are no soap operas on Fox. I thought it was ABC has them, don't they? Anyway, and those other stations. All right, Ramon, let's take a look over at Tony's picks. We know there's a single game, but whenever there's preseason action, you can never say there's nothing going on, because if there's something going on, Ramon will find it, right? So Ramon doing great work here in the NFL. 878 units of profit for 2022. That is all documented over at Tony'sPicks.com. So you go over to Ramon's handicapper pages, which I got to get on the show here and show you this. I mean, it's amazing how he wins. He wins in NBA. He wins in NHL. Wins in NBA. Again, I think this was the last season. This season, the Summer League numbers up there were outstanding as well. College basketball, he shows winning. UFC, he wins. I mean, there's a lot of action up there. You see Ramon winning that. He's doing great work here when you go to his handicapper page. All right, Ramon, we got the NFL game up on the board. We also have preseason NBA. I know there is some soccer out there in the world as well going on. What do you have going over at Tony's Picks?
Yeah, I'm looking tonight, Tony, at Monday Night Football, and you already showed it. I got my premium pick, my best bet, Monday Night Football tonight between the Chiefs and the Raiders. You can expand out the card. That's how I do it. That's why I get into the other sports. I mean, we all want to cultivate a card that's going to entertain us each and every day. You can't always find the time to break down a 50-game college football card and come in with some tennis, and I'd like to, and I often do at least glance at the scores every day. I love to watch it, keep it on the screens and whatever, but it just doesn't work out. What you do is you handicap as much as you can and try to find the edges where you can, and also keep those lines open, keep the screens open, if you will, the betting screens. I like to hear when the steam's coming in, because that's what triggers me a lot of times as a market handicapper, is seeing the move, hearing about the move, seeing the move across a market. People try to determine, what is steam, what is a reverse line move. Well, people say it's a broadly thrown term, oh, it's got steamed, but really what steam is usually a series of books that are being pressed by either a conglomerate of bettors, a syndicate of bettors, if you will, or just a hot move that everyone's pouncing on, and you see what they call the screen turn black. And that's when almost every book is being hit with action on one particular team. When that happens, you should investigate immediately why that's happening, because there's either some kind of news that's come in, or there's been a major bet by someone who is in the know or is a winning player, and the markets are moving accordingly. So that's what triggers it. And then you go and you look and investigate there. Yeah, you look at the whole card, handicap the whole card like you do, but you shouldn't be done, throughout the day if you can, if you have time. And if you don't have time, that's why I'm here, Tony. Get my packages and subscribe to my service, and I'll keep you updated with all that. Not only do I put the picks in there, but usually get about 4 good sentences, or at least a nice big paragraph write-up about what I think. Not just stats and trends, but the feeling about the markets and the way the bettors and handicappers might be approaching the game each day. So I include that as part of my subscriber package. So look, it's hard to, we know it's hard to win. You have to pay for picks sometimes if you want to, I don't want to say take shortcuts, but even if it doesn't come up a winner, I'm still going to give you some great information that you're going to be able to take with you. We're not giving out every game, and you might like the game that we're not have a pick on that day, but you have some information, you have some history with some that I've prefaced with information about a team or a stat that will help you along the way. So it's not just about those particular games that we do try to win every one, but it's also keeping you informed. It's kind of like a news service, if you will, when you subscribe to my packages at Tony's Picks.
That's right, guys. Again, Ramon Scott over at Tony's Picks. You see the results are fantastic here. He does have his NFL up there tonight from Monday Night Football. Of course, here we are on Monday. It might be a good time to get that long-term pass, that $70 sports pass. Get all Ramon's plays for 7 days. Would include all of his NFL. We got NFL here on Monday, Thursday, as well as on Sunday. We got college football beginning here on Wednesday. I believe we're Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week, as well as Saturday. So lots of college football action coming at you. As well as the start of the NHL. Well, the start of the North American opening night. They started in Europe. We started in North America tomorrow with a doubleheader. So the NHL is in full swing on Tuesday. So it'll be part of that as well. Ramon has been covering NHL here in the preseason, so he's ready to fire in the regular season as it begins here tomorrow. And don't forget, we'll cover the first round, actually the second round of the baseball playoffs, the NL and ALDS series here with that $70 sports pass with 4 games beginning there tomorrow. A lot of 4 games throughout the week, guys, until these teams start going down. So we're looking at possible 12 games in the next 3 days coming up, as we have game 1, game 2, and game 3. We're guaranteed 12 games there. And then as we go on, we'll see who's remaining standing here as we get into a possible game 4 and game 5. Those are the if necessary games. And of course, that is part of your $70 sports pass when you get on board with Ramon. So lots of action, all these sports overlapping. We've got NFL, college football, NHL, Major League Baseball playoffs. So all those sports are overlapping over this 7-day period. We'll save you some money here when you use that promo code TonyT at checkout. You can access Ramon's page by clicking the link in the description, clicking the All Cappers tab, and get signed up. That promo code will be used on any of the passes up there. If you just want to do best bet hunting, get his best bets, bundle those together, buy them every day. Or if you just want to get his 1-month pass, of course, the 1-month pass will cover all the baseball playoffs, the NBA, which begins here in 8 days, 3 hours, and 53 minutes. So you can get on board there too with Ramon's 1-month pass and use it as much as you like. All right, Ramon, you can access Ramon's page, by the way, by clicking the link in the description, then clicking the Cappers tab. It is the Cappers tab at the top, and then you'll find them and get signed up. All right, Ramon, we put together a Twitter account for you over at Tony's Picks Ramon, and the morning steam is steaming away, putting up great results with their consensus plays documented over at Tony'sPicks.com. The records are documented for you. How many shows document their picks? You hear crickets. You're hearing crickets, because I don't know of any of them that do that with their consensus plays. So what you got going on, Ramon?
Yeah, over on Tony's Picks Ramon Tony tonight. I've got to play in NBA preseason action, so log on to Twitter. Follow me at Tony's Picks Ramon. I'm trying to build an audience over there. Slow going. Please join me and take a look at that pick on in the NBA preseason. And yeah, Mindy and I have our picks over there with the morning's team, and I just love that because we don't know what we're going to have going in, and then next thing you know, we have premium picks. What we kind of conceptualize now is that the picks are just free picks, if you will, video picks that we're doing, but then if we agree on it, maybe we're onto something, and the record is kind of showing that that may be indeed the case. We're getting on about 6 weeks now, and things are looking pretty good, so we're going to keep up with this, and I don't know, maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's something when we put the brains together, she says.
That's right, guys. Check them out over on the Morning's team. They have an account up there. You can verify their plays. Of course, those picks are free when you watch the show. They're not when you don't. So, like we said, you can see the great results there from the Morning's team. Of course, Ramon there with Tony's Pick Ramon with more picks. And, of course, check out the show, the Morning's team here with it's up there right now. We archive the plays. We actually edit out each pick individually for you as well. So you go back there and check them out. A lot of coverage here from the college football card, as well as NBA preseason and more NFL as well. They cover the NFL game for you too. So check it out over on our YouTube channel at Morning Steam. All right, Ramon, as always, great having you show. Keep up that great work, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Okay, Tony, thank you. See you then.
You got it. Ramon Scott here on Game Day Picks. Guys, we're with you here, Game Day Picks, Monday through Friday here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, set notifications, be live with us. We got day baseball, so you want to make sure you get those picks as we are at 3 p.m. Eastern Time start. So do that. All right, let's continue on here on the show. Now it'll be time for my picks. So let me get my game card up for you right now. As we're going to be looking at this Raider game again. It is the Raiders and the Chiefs. The Chiefs are laying 7. Total sits here at 52 for the full game. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm gonna go first half over 26 first half here. Chiefs and Raiders. The Chiefs have been a pretty good first half team, compiling up a lot of points. And of course, when you look at Mahomes' numbers have been impressive here. 66% completion rate, 7.6 yards per attempt. And of course, the Vegas is getting production on the ground with 5 yards a carry. Devonte Adams getting a lot of touches here. And again, remember we always bring up the Chiefs defense, right? They've had their issues, giving up 264 passing yards a game, 70% completion rate. You almost feel like you got to score on every possession when you're going against this Chiefs team. So there'll be some pressure here on the Raiders offense to get things going. I think you'll see an up-tempo game here in this one. When you look at the Chiefs, 417 yards on the Bucs defense last week. They're back home, and I look for points to come. I'm not as confident as going with a full game here. 52 is a big number, only because we've seen it many times where teams adjust, and the game time tends to slow down a little bit in the second half if there's a fast pace in the first half. So I'm looking for the points in the first half in this one with the Chiefs and the Raiders. All right, guys, check out Tony'sPicks.com right now. I do have my best bet up there is from this game. It's against the spread from the Chiefs and the Raiders. So check it out. Also, my long-term passes. Of course, I'm just in action with one pick again, but we got 4 baseball games up there coming up tomorrow. I am the unit leader over at Tony'sPicks.com for the 2022 season in Major League Baseball. So a good time to get aboard with one of my long-term passes. We talked about the 7-day I have a 3, 7, or 30 All Sports Pass. Get all of my premium plays for that time period select. When you go to my handicapper page and you make that purchase, don't forget that promo code TonyT at checkout, and you will save 20% off. All right, let's continue on here with the show. It is now time to recap today's plays. Let's put the recap up for you right now. All right, we start off with Mindy. Mindy liked the Raiders and Chiefs, so she's got a player prop for 2 of them. She likes Devonte Adams over 75.5 yards receiving at -115. She also likes Devonte Adams over 100 yards receiving. That's +195. Ramon here was on the Braves on the run line, -1.5 runs, +120 against the Phillies. Yours truly, Raiders, Chiefs over 26 in the first half. Those are our plays. All right, that's going to do here for this edition of Game Day Picks. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. Bring our cappers in from Tony's Picks. They'll give out live picks for that day's action. Don't forget to like, subscribe, set those notifications. When we're live, you want to be alerted live so you get those picks. And when you get them and you place bets, you want to make sure you get the best possible number, right? That's going to do it here for the show. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from today's show. Going to wait goodbye, guys. You guys have a great afternoon.